Just not happening today, guys. One of those days, just not a moving. Trying, but it's just not today. You get my laptop on. If you're coming on in, you can hit hashtag plus in the chat. People will connect with your channel to give everybody a few minutes to come on in as we get set up. And we're going to finish the cross. If I had been more ahead of the game, I would have done this before we went live, but that wasn't it. That wasn't this girl today. But I wanted to finish this. I'm skipping the juice today because I'm just giving my body a break. Sometimes I do kind of several days and I'm trying to give my body just a little bit of a break. First milk has to check everything out. It was all barky because they were doing stuff behind our thing today and putting a drainage system back there. So, everybody up and hopefully hold on a second, guys. Whenever I'm like, why am I not hearing myself? Something decided to do whatever it was supposed to do. All right, now you can see me. I don't know why it chooses to do that, but it does. I uploaded that fabric store in the short today, so you guys could see that. Give me just a minute while I kind of get this taken care of. And then I can focus on the other. Oh, I'm tired. Sorry, y'all. Trying not to yawn, but I don't think it's gonna help tonight. Okay, here we go. And I will upload. I'm not too worried about blessings to the connection, but I want to get another short up for y'all. So I'll make sure that we get that. I'm going to put in a fabric list. That's for here. That. All right. Now, Mom, when you're up, can you come through and turn the light on? I knew there was something I forgot. And turn the light on and turn the fan on. So we're not roasting in this area. Actually, I turned it down last night. I did come in and finish a couple of these so that we're not trying to finish. We can finish this tonight finally. And I thought if I try to do all 4 of these flowers, it's just not gonna work. So I really kind of worked on those last night. I'm gonna do this before we go on. So that this is done. Well, this is drying, so I'm not rubbing this. She's going to turn the light on. Oh, let me put this way. Okay, so you can see that's better. And I'll start moving and grooving in a minute. What's that? Yep, as far as I know. Didn't mean to tip you over, but the thing was all hooked. This needs to be this way. Get you plugged in so I don't have to worry about me losing everybody. Okay. I've got the Mod Podge here. So we're just going to take our little bit of Mod Podge. I take my seam ripper and I did put the silver sparkles on this last night. I think I already did that one. I don't remember. I think I did 2 flowers. I think, well, if I did, it'll be fine. Really won't hurt an extra coat of Mod Podge. But I think I already did that one. So once you do the little bit of extra paint, we're just taking Mod Podge and we're just covering this because we don't want anything to happen to the, come on. Somehow this got, I think I did this one, but I'm not too sure at this point. I really wanted to somewhat lay down. I was almost ready to take a nap, and I thought, if you take a nap now, you will not go to sleep later. So go work on your Kinusaiga. And say it now, but I tried to say it in the short, and I finally gave up. I'm like, we're still learning the name of this thing. Fabric art. Right. Then tilt your, just so you're trying to not get it on the fabric. It gets a little bit on it, won't hurt. But all right. Another one to put on. You do want to kind of do this step after you put glitter on, because otherwise it's going to, even if it's glitter glue or paint, because you're going to rough it up if you don't. So you do want to do that step. Put this over here for now. So this is my. And I'm very impressed with this flag. I can see where I can make improvements, but overall, very impressed with how it came out. Definitely going to make the flowers a little bit better when I do the final product. So while that's drying, put that over there. Josh did the border for this, um, for Grandma's picture. And I had to do some finagling to it. Now, I'm going to say this too, is with the fabric or with the sheets, we first got them, of course, he's learning how to cut, how to make things straight. Of course, it certainly helps with the things he got. What were they? Oh, think about what they're called. Straight, whatever it's called. Straight. Oh, my brain today, it doesn't want to think. Straight edge. So he then said, put those, oh, these are matter, but fabric skizzers should not be used for paper scissors. So Put them in a different one there. Trying to get some of my supplies out. Try not to yawn. It's working. Okay. And we didn't show this off because I'm going to take this off. We kind of had to tie on some stuff, but we wanted to get this done because we're going to need it on Saturday. So I had to tie it off and put some tape on it. And I'm going to paint, not when I get off of here, not this specific moment, but well, I didn't bring a paintbrush. I could grab one real quick in a minute. We're going to paint some fabric or some glitter glue, just that even though this has a sheen to it, I'm going to paint some glitter glue just to do it. But because this was not an exact 7 by 9, and even Josh says he's learning how to make the cuts and make them much more straight and all that kind of stuff. He had some difficulty, so he's learning how to make these frames all kind of come together. So give him some time. We may do this one in paint sticks. I kind of like the idea of maybe doing that one in kind of like a wood and maybe making the paint sticks like brown. Like it just seems like that may be the route we go with it. So until we kind of get this, I did have to like tie that down because this had a big, huge gap, even bigger than this. And I had to kind of squish it together a little bit. This is a 1/2 inch frame, but we like these, like the way they came out. We just have to learn how to make them better. And that'll just happen along with making this more even and more straight. But that's all part of the learning process, guys. All part of it. So this is the felt that I got, and it doesn't really show it that it's purple, but it's kind of like a lavender purple. I didn't like the stick-on stuff. It was not purple. It was not it wasn't lavender. It was I didn't like the purple color. But it's a 9 by 12, I think. 9 by 12. 12 by 18. So I can get like 2 projects out of one instead of just one and then not being able to use the other. Even though the other felt I was able to use on the bottom of this table so it didn't scrape the floor. So this is going to be some kind of purple, and we may change it as time goes on. But that will be on the back. Now I did put another sheet of the cardstock on the back that we had. Found this out in the garage because of these gaps. I didn't want the purple to show through. So I decided to do it. And when we put this on, we may be able to help. Like he said, even Josh said, that's going to take time to get it more accurate. So we'll get it. I got to turn my TV down. I've got the TV on, so it's watching too, but it's kind of loud in there. Let's use our blade actually. Well, if we don't cut the paper right, our blade for our thing. Oops. If we have to, we'll make a cut. But we still kind of see. Make a cut or no? Well, it kind of did. Give me kind of a rough estimate to cut on. Oh, it did cut it. I wasn't sure if it did cut it. It did. I just have to kind of go back and do a cut. It did. So just go up. And then I have this whole other sheet for another project. So I was able to get that for 99 cents versus one for 99 cents. Let's take off the sticker. This just came from Hobby Lobby for right now. So I know people want Josh, and he says he will show everybody how he did it, but he said, like, give him a little time to learn how to do the thing, and what works for us may not work for someone else. That's what I kind of told him today. I'm like, just do your thing. I'm just putting this on the back, and then I'll be able to get it. So I've got this E6000 glue. They did have felt glue, but so I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put this. This will hold about anything. Hopefully. They did have felt glue, but I thought, well, let me try this first before I have to go to felt glue. And it was almost like $5. I was like, I don't know if I want to spend $5 felt glue. Tacky glue should work. This glue would work, I think. This stuff holds. If it's good enough for crochet, it's good enough for this. It's B7000, and we have that on our Linktree shop side. So then let's start with that. Let's get that. It will dry very quickly. So I wouldn't leave it long unexposed. Get your one corner on. Hopefully this works. Maybe I'll look and get the glue later on, but so Josh is learning how to do this and how to get it to work and all the ins and outs of it. I did look at putting yarn down there in that kind of gap. I didn't like that. I looked at maybe putting the stuff we kind of the string that we used. I didn't like that. Okay, and then what I am going to do, just for safety measure, I'm going to take the glue stick we use, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that kind of in just a few places, just to kind of do that. And I'll take some tacky between the two, and we're just gonna, I don't have it on the top, but we'll just, between the two, we're gonna kind of, I don't think, between all that, this is going anywhere. And this is pretty sturdy. You can take your hand, I wouldn't press it like too hard, but you can take it and put it down. It's going to work. Let's see if I need to do anything. Nope. Actually, we're just going to take this. I mean, it's sticking. I'm just going to take it and put a little bit of the felt or the tacky glue on the end part. But it's sticking, so it's going to be fine. But we're just going to take that. And then you could, oops, sorry, guys. Just take it. And, hey, Sandy. So then once it's down, we can make a cut. And this will just cut right along the part there. And we have to go in and do a little bit of cut. Okay, just keep this in case I need that for anything, right? This side just didn't want to. And then I'm going to take this because this side just did not get the side. It needs to just be so you're not looking and seeing the felt behind you. And I'm just going to take the knife and kind of take it, and it'll That's what I would do, is just run your knife down it. Knife really works great. Cuts a little bit off the back, it's fine. Because I got a little bit behind there. I'm not worried about it. I'm not. Okay. That's my nice scissors. Can use your little handy dandy scissors to kind of cut that if they've got some extra back there, because you just don't want to see it. So you want to kind of get it close. And they do have sticky felt that I'll probably eventually get, but for right now this will work. Just got my hands all sticky with it. They did have it, but I didn't like the color purple they had. What it was like is like I'll get, the sheets, and then I only have so many sheets, and then it's kind of like I don't have any, then I'm done with it. Okay. Gets me some coffee too. Maybe cold by the time you get here. So, but I want to do the paint stick method too. But Josh did a really good job with this frame. Better than I could have done. I can tell you that right now. Is it perfect? No, but he's learning. And that's all that matters. And I did tell him, I said, Josh, the way the lady did it in the video, if that doesn't work and something else you do works better, you do you. Because there may be the same exact way to get to point A, but you may need to do it a certain way. And I'm going to tell everybody that. Because if you find a method that works really good with this, then use it. Just because other people are using methods, if they don't, you're like that. Well, that doesn't work for me, then don't do it. It's the only thing about that I'm not crazy about. But that's also over time, as I can't get the corners to kind of button up like I would like for them to do. Without putting glue, which is fine, but then I have to sit here and wait for it to kind of get happy. So but we are going to put a little bit of work. You just have to hold it. So I did last night work on the flag because I didn't want to sit and do all those flowers today, and I wanted to get it done so we can move on to something else. Are you going to hold without me having to do a bunch of maneuvers like I did before? Tape you up and put a bow on you and all different kind of stuff. So even Josh said, if he had been able to cut this, it would have been easier, but it's not a total round square. He said, it's okay, you're learning. You all have to start someplace. That's pretty good. It may hold. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take just thought about it. I don't need a big paintbrush. Okay. Get our sparkle stuff. I gotta get more of this. This is just a Dollar Tree. But it's really nice paint. Okay. Take this. And your finger, I've got a wet wipe. And I just want to take it and I will be able to control it just fine. We're just going to add, this is already shiny. So this is an idea to do if you have cardstock as we teach you how to do the frames and you like, I want it to be glittery, but I don't want to use shiny cardstock. Just do this. And of course you can get a paintbrush, but I don't want to get up and get one. So finger will work just fine. And this was a 1/2 inch. I didn't like the thickness. I thought that the inch frame was just too thick. It overtook the frame. So this will also cover. And then what I would do to strengthen this after you get done is put a little Mod Podge on it. Even if, and you can get Mod Podge that's not the that's dull. It doesn't have to be shiny Mod Podge. But I would go ahead and cover it with a little bit of Mod Podge. And I would probably do that maybe before you do the frame, but he put the frame on and I didn't have it. But I would kind of do it before you put the frame on. And if we ever include these kind of frames and kits, we will have, you could choose to have glitter put on, but even if it's just solid, we will add Mod Podge to it because that way it's going to strengthen the frame and it's going to strengthen the card stock. So you're not just the cardstock's not going to get rubbed or damaged. It's just going to prevent it. It's going to make it a little bit more sturdy. I would definitely add Mod Podge to it. They've got Mod Podge that you can get that's not shiny, but I would add Mod Podge. My recommendation. She didn't do that, but I would probably put it around the entire frame. Now you have a much sturdier frame and you have it sealed and protected. So just a layer of protection on it. That would be my recommendation. But this is going to be much easier to do if you did it before you added the artwork to it. But Josh put it in here and then I was kind of like, didn't really have a option. He just did it and I was like, here you go. It's like, okay. But you could do this before you do the artwork in there. So you're not getting paint or Mod Podge on the fabric. I got glitter now all over my hands. Oh boy. And if there is any glitter, it's going to come off. You can just take your seam ripper and you'll get it off. It'll be fine. I got it like right here, a lot of it. So we kind of get it off. And I'd probably just wait till it dries. Because it'll dry clear and the glitter will just come off the fabric. And if a little bit gets on the fabric, I'm not worried. I'm really not. It will be fine. I'm just going to hold it like this. I'm just going to kind of smooth that out. Got it this way. I should have probably done this before I did the other. Oh well. Learning. And what that'll kind of do too is it'll kind of help the edges be, if you've gotten any trying to do the edges and they're not, it'll kind of hide stuff. Plus, I just really like the sparkle. I really wanted sparkle on there somehow. I think it just height. I mean, the cardstock had a sheen to it, but this it certainly elevates it, and it's going to dry clear. As you can see it, it looks really cool. It looks cool. It looks cool. It looks cool. And then I will add absolutely a layer of Mosh Podge to it before we give it to Grandma. The one thing I forgot to do was put in a little ribbon, but I can just add that. And then I can just put a piece of felt over it. That's what I'll do. That is what I would do. Just take a piece of jute and add it. I don't know if she'll hang it on the wall, but take a piece of jute and just add it to the back and add a little bit of felt. Even if I hot glue it, it'll be fine. That's what I'll do. I did find out today. Didn't really make any sense though. We got a renewal for our lease. 15 months. You would think would be cheaper than 13 months, but 13 months as it is $70 more a month. But, oh well, it is what it is. We can't move right now. And it's hard to find places in the area that things may be a little tight in October. But we make it through and God provides. I don't know how He'd just go, okay, God. So I don't feel led to move right now. And we could go to someplace smaller, but Mom, having that extra bathroom, I know it's like, yeah, we don't need it, but there's sometimes, Mom's in the bathroom and Josh is in the bathroom, and it would be hard to have one bathroom. And not impossible. And then all of our stuff in the garage would have to be put in a storage unit if we had no garage. So then we'd be paying for that. So doesn't really doesn't make sense to some degree. To have it, because it's like, okay, well then, we lose the garage and then we have to pay $100 someplace to store everything. And then the moving cost, and then, we could live on one bathroom, but it would be hard. And then a lot of places around here, how they get in is like, I'll show y'all in a minute. A lot of places in Ohio, not every place, but a lot of places. Dog walkers here. Oh yeah. Oh my God. My big one, he goes crazy. And I'm usually pretty okay with him. Wait, in her crate. Oh. She was all right, that's done. Give me a minute. So if a lot of places, I gotta get another wipe. I got glitter now all over me. Weird. I don't want to get it all over the other artwork. So let me see if I can get it off. Yeah. So anyway, that's done. Now we just have to wait till it does, and then I'll put some felt on the back. Hi Otto. Hi Woodsart. Oh boy, I'm gonna have glitter for days. So anyway, hold on. Okay. I'm not gonna get it. That's trash. All right. I got it off as best I can. Get a little bit off from our. So we'll put this someplace so that you guys could put hashtag blessed in the chat. You want people to connect with your channel. Put this up there right now. So that's done and ready to go for grandma on Saturday. Glitter everywhere. Ouch. Rolled over my foot. A container for that. This can go up. So anyway, but I was going to say, so a lot of places in Ohio, or a lot of places, is they're on the first floor, which is what we have to have. But a lot of places, you have to go down the stairs or to get on the first floor. Not a lot of them are up on the thing. So, but there's ambulance, not here, but somebody outside of us. Somebody's called for paramedics. One of our neighbors. A fire truck's out there and everything. So anyway, hopefully it's okay. But anyway, you have to go downstairs. So for 15 months, it's almost $250 more a month for 15 months. And then for 13 months or 14 months, it's like 200 more. And then for 13 months, it's $250 cheaper. It's still $70 more by the time we get done with everything than what we're paying now, but doesn't make any sense. You would think the 15 months would be cheaper. It's not the way it is. Is it her father? No, it's for Mary across the street. That older lady that's straight across the street. She okay? I don't know. They're taking a gurney in there. Oh. The ambulance is here and and Mocha's not reacting. She's not reacting to that, but walk in the backyard. Oh gosh, we had a drain system put down back here, back here, but hope she's okay. It's oops, wait, it's not me, it's Mary, there's another Mary, and she's across the street. So anyway, but so at least it's not as bad as I thought, but I still don't quite understand why. Still doesn't make sense in my head. You would think that the 15 months would be cheaper than the 13 months, but it's not. So I just thank God shows that He provides for us every month. I don't know. Sometimes I think, God, I don't know where everything's gonna come from, but you make it happen every time. So we are going to finish this today. I did finish these other flowers last night because I thought we need to get done with this one and move on. It's been a lovely project, but we need to move on to the next one. All right. Next on the list. Oops. Drop that. But that's why I've kind of said what I've said about, having a channel monetized is that, people don't realize sometimes that little bit of extra income that comes in for somebody makes a difference. That extra $100 when you meet the threshold, when it does come through for us, makes a difference. And I'm grateful for it when it comes through from Mama and us because it just helps. And sometimes you don't know who that does help. And, grateful when it does happen and when we get back to monetization. And, if people can't do memberships and so forth, just go watch somebody's channel and just let the ads run. You don't know if, what that'll do to help them. They don't get much for ad revenue, it's cents, but it does help just to go in and let their ads run throughout the whole thing and watch their stuff. It helps get their channel out there. It helps doing it. We're now at 2,300, and I keep looking. I'm like, we're doing something right because we're growing a little bit by little bit. So anyway, just my little thing is you don't know how or what difference that can make in somebody's life. Maybe they're like for us, our rent's going to go up 100, about $70, $80 next in October. And that'll make that little $100 coming in will help Mama. And it'll help us. And so, those are where you have to sit there and say, okay, that's why I do the soap caddies. So I can turn those over to Mama and say, here, take these out and take them to places and see if they'll go in for you. So every little bit helps. That's for sure. Makes a difference. I think we're going to do the wood frame on this one. I just feel like it's the right direction to go. This one. And Josh is learning the other. And we'll get him one little thing at a time to understand how to do them. The one thing I don't understand too, a little part of it, is I love where we live, but I've said, my mom's even said, you think this will be, I don't know how many, we've been here since 2012. So I think it's like our fifth renewal of our lease or something like that. And you'd think that they would say, okay, give you a little bonus every time you renew your lease. and they just don't. But that's another thing that I don't understand. Even if it's just, we'll give you $100 off your lease or $25 every time you renew it. It's a little something off of it to say thank you. It's just a little bit of a membership appreciation in my way of looking at it. But it is what it is. I'm thankful we have a roof over our head. Believe me, beyond grateful and thankful. But if I was running it, I'd be doing it a little different, but I'm not. I'd also not be paying rent if I was doing it. Another thing I did is I found these little containers I had left over, right? And I figured out I'll just use these. I can use them for quite a while with the glue in them, but then I'll show you in a second. Because if a little bit more glue squirts out than I want, get underneath there. Let me get this one in position where I want it to. Or at least start it to get in the position where I want it to. Is I've got another one. I can take this one out if I squirt a little bit too much glue and just put it on top so the fan won't be drying it out. Oops. But this, just put it on top of here so that it won't dry out the glue. So it's kind of something I can have just in case. Looks like they're probably pulling away. I hear something out there happening. But Mocha, at one point today, just went in her crate. She's standing out there. The fire trucks are there. The people are all there. She's fine. The people in the back put the stuff for the drainage system. Messed in her backyard. Nope. She wasn't going to have it. Come on. Come on. So I think if we finish this one tonight, I still have enough. Start working on the goose a little bit. Hopefully everybody's doing well tonight. Some of these flowers have just lifted up and it's the only way to kind of get it to work. But they still came out pretty cute. I am going to change them up a little bit when I release the pattern though. And I will release them with and without the flowers. If everybody's like, I don't want to fool with them flowers. Don't worry. You will have it both ways. But it will take me a little bit to release this one. I mean, I'll probably try to get it out this weekend. But I've got to make some modifications to it before I release it. But I decided to change the sheets and I realized that I didn't have sheets. So I put the sheets on Josh's bed, on the Josh's side, because we have a split king, because he likes his feet up in the air like this, and I don't. Hi, Shatika. I sleep differently than he does, and he needs to sleep that way because it helps with his circulation and everything. But I don't like to sleep that way, so. So anyway, he was asleep. I put his sheets on, and I just had to wait for my set to dry. Because slowly but surely, our sets of sheets are starting to deplete themselves a little bit. We need to get more sheets, but they're a lot years old. But I usually get my sheets off Wayfair for the twins, and so that'll happen. But do what we need to do right now. Ooh. So I uploaded, like I said before, I uploaded that short to show you all that. I mean, I did a live from the store, but I figured I'd do the short so people can see it too for that fabric store. That place that's dangerous. It's dangerous. Yes, I did some flowers last night while I was waiting for my sheets to dry. I just figured we don't. Oops, wrong place. We don't need to sit there and, try to get it all done. I wanted it to be not that I haven't enjoyed this. I haven't so enjoyed this thing, and I think overall, even with these flowers, I've done a great job at it, but I wanted to get it done tonight. Do I need to make some modifications? And just so everybody knows, when we upload patterns, there may be a pattern that goes, oh, well, that looks a little different. Well, when we're coming on live and doing these, we're testing the patterns out before we're going to put them up. And I have some modifications that need to be happening with this pattern. So I'm not going to redo it again. But I will say, the pattern has been modified. We tested it, and this is the original pattern, but we did make some modifications to it, where we found that it wasn't going to work for for Kinusaiga. So now I can say it. I couldn't say it on a short to save my life. I tried a couple of times. This is not working. So I didn't. Oh, can't stop yelling. Oh, I shouldn't be tired, but I am. So I just still don't understand. I mean, when I looked at the proposal, I was like, I first looked at it, I'm like, boy, we're in trouble. I'm like, I looked at it first, I'm like, how are we supposed to go up, almost $250 more a month? I didn't know how all that was gonna fly. And then I looked at the difference and it was like, why? You would think the and that's what's happened in the past. I don't understand it. 15 months you think would be cheaper than the 13 months, but the 13 months is the cheapest. I don't get it. Even though it's still a $70 rent increase by the time we get done with everything. I just don't understand it. Can't make sense to my head. And I don't know if I gotta ask the management people at the front desk. I don't know if she'll totally understand why. But at least maybe she can explain it. Even though I don't think even if she explains it, it's gonna make sense. So I'm like, you would think that she would make it so that, the that was even cheaper. It's like, I'm not gonna sign a 15-month lease when I can sign a 13-month lease for almost $250 cheaper, even though you're still increasing our rent by about $70. It's not doing it. One of these days, maybe way down the road, it'd be nice to have a condo or something. But it's not happening right now. It's not in the plans right now. But it would be nice down the road to be able to have that. But one step by one step. I just put some glue here and I gotta get it to cut. I can't. I have to see. I've got an Elvis painting that's very rare, and I was thinking of trying to contact somebody and seeing. First of all, I wanted to get it appraised somewhere by somebody, and then I wanted to see how much it was, if it did sell, how much it would be worth to sell. But believe me, it's something I want to part with. Something I've thought of. I'd have to make sure I was absolutely in getting somebody that was gonna give me the fair price for it. But it's the only one in existence, and I've got it. I showed everybody before. I don't know how much it would. Just wondering how much it would. I told my daughter, anything ever happens to me, This is not a kind of picture that you just take to your local pawn shop and get rid of. You find someplace, and I've got the authenticity from Graceland, because you better find somebody that you can trust. Oops, well, that totally came off. Yikes. Okay. And we won't put the little beads on until we get done. There we go. Okay. These tools I would highly recommend. I don't know if I would use them to push the fabric in, but they're helpful in a lot of different other areas of this. The seam ripper is really the way to go when you're trying to get fabric in the spaces, but it's really helpful to kind of get into different spaces and everything. It's very helpful. So I would recommend them. They do help. There we go. Done with that one. The last flower to go. Get this, the strips cut out. There we go. I might just keep it out in case I need it. We are down to the last flower. And we have finished this project. I need to pull this back a little bit. I'm going to fabric around the end part there. Oops. That wasn't supposed to happen. I don't know if I can get this in here. There's a will, there's a way. There we go. Now it will kind of work. Having to kind of lift these flowers up because it's really the only way to get this underneath. And then I just kind of cut. And then I will have to glue them down. That's just the only way to kind of. This tool is really good to get the fabric underneath here really good. Kind of get it underneath. And then just kind of lay the fabric back down. Then take your seam ripper and get in there a little bit more detailed. It just seems to, like I'm taking the seam ripper and kind of going around the foam and then laying it back down in there. But I'm making the flowers work. Don't ask me how. I haven't figured that part out yet. But as long as if you have the flowers, and I'm going to make the flowers bigger, you just got to make sure that you're not going to cause the, you don't want to let the seams or the fabric to fray. You want to make sure that you're gluing that fabric down just to prevent it from fraying. There we go. Like I said, I'm not worried about the middle because the middle will work itself out. The middle is getting covered up with the beads, so I really don't care about the middle part. I cut this, but I glued it down, I think, and I'm gonna get it so that I can actually get this underneath because it's not there. There's no room in the end. Closed it all up. I put 2 pieces of fabric there. Okay. Got another one. I think that's dry now. Hi, firework. Yep, we're almost done. But that's the frame. That frame with the extra glitter looks so cool. And I will Mosh Posh it. It's really cool. And again, this frame Josh is learning, but it's because we didn't do the foam all the way. So we're learning. We like it, but that does help to stiffen it. And I think once you do Mod Podge on it, it'll even make it better. I would Mod Podge if you're going to do those types of frames with paper. I would Mod Podge it because it will help to just, first of all, it will make it stiffer, sturdy it, and protect it. Got 3 more flowers to go, and then we're done with the flag. And then I will make the modifications on the pattern at some point for you guys that want to do this one, because that way you guys will have it. And there will be 2 different versions. There'll be one without the flowers, with the flowers and without, and this pattern will be $3 instead of 2 because you're getting 2 different patterns with it. So this way you guys can choose which way you want to go. If you're like, I don't want to deal with the flowers, then you don't have to do that. I'm gonna move this because it's just if I can without, I didn't move it all the way over, and now it's not on the, it's not going over here all the way. But having to kind of lift the flowers up and tuck the fabric. It's working, but it's just, it's my little nemesis. Oh, we got it to work. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to tell everybody too is go to your different local states that you've lived in your life and make sure you don't have any unclaimed funds. Every government has like an unclaimed government, section of unclaimed funds. And you may have some unclaimed funds someplace. I found one that was kind of unexpected for Mom. We found ones for my dad that we didn't realize. Not this time, but a while back ago. So I guess, especially in the state of Ohio, they're only going to last it for like 10 years before it's like, if you don't claim it, then it's gone. So we found one, and every little bit helps, that's for sure. But just go check your local states. Like, I've lived in Florida, so I've checked that. I don't have any in Florida. Josh doesn't have any in Florida. Mom doesn't have any in Florida. Dad doesn't have any. But check your states that you've lived in and make sure that you don't have any unclaimed funds that you have. Check your parents. Make sure that they don't have any. So we found some for Mom that, like I said, every little bit helps right now. But something I thought I'd pass on to everybody. You may not have any, but you may be surprised. And it was just happened to be that I was reading something on Facebook. I would say that I read it on Facebook, I checked, and I was like, I got off of Facebook and went directly through the state of Ohio for that. I didn't go on Facebook, but I went through the state. I got off of Facebook and I went through the, Google and went to the actual state's website just to make sure, but I wouldn't do it from there. But it just happened to be, and I couldn't sleep one night. And I'm like, let me check. And I checked. Sure enough, there was something for mom. And I was like, wow. But don't, I've seen them pop up on Facebook lately. They're trying to let people know, check and make sure you don't have any because they're only going to hold them for a certain length of time. But can't wait till my new glasses come in. But I wouldn't go through. If there's like a news article coming up about it on Facebook, I would get off Facebook. And if you just go to like Ohio's unclaimed funds, it'll take you, type that in, it'll take you right to the official website. And that's what I did. And I checked it. I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. Because they'll want you to put in your social security number and all that. I wouldn't do it through Facebook, but check and make sure that maybe you or a parent or a relative didn't have it. I checked for Christina in Florida to make sure she didn't have any. So they're supposed to be doing it too for savings bonds because Christina, I thought, had one. And maybe I cashed it when she was younger, but I didn't think I did. But we can't find it in all the moving we've done. And I thought, well, it would come in handy if I could because it came from her great grandmother. I thought I put it away, but maybe I cashed it for something when she became 18 or something, graduation or something. I can't remember, but I can't find it now. And I thought, I said to mom, here, put this away someplace safe. That's dangerous with my mother because then she puts someplace safe and then she doesn't remember where she stuck it. So, I don't know. So if it's someplace, but they're supposed to come out because they said a lot of people have that. They lose the paper and then they don't have it. So they're supposed to like come up with some kind of database or something to be able to have you figure out if you do have a savings bond somebody's gotten you, how to claim it. That's my oh boy. Hey, I'm all thumbs tonight. I'm on thumbs tonight. That's gotten a little. Can't get that. I'll just have to wait on that one. Trying to get all the fray underneath the thing. And it did right in here, and I can't get it out. I won't. Only I'll notice it. Nobody else will. This does kind of help to curve, round curves and stuff to kind of get them to cooperate. I can say that.
Okay, come on.
2 more flowers to go.
Cool.
I gotta get the glue away. Oh, there it is. Here's all 2 pieces of fabric. You need to turn that down. You can, Josh. Don't mute it, but you can turn it down. I didn't realize it was so loud. You can get it from the TV. What time is it? Tough cookies. It's 9 o'clock. Should have started with the other flower, but we're gonna make it work. The first flower on the bottom is one I've started with every one of these, but not tonight. I want it to be different. Whoops. Just got glue on my shirt. Oh well, it's washable. It's washable. I'm gonna wipe out in a minute so it doesn't totally get hardened on there. It is fabric glue, but it's nice to have wipes. I also do baby wipes, but I didn't want it to harden on my shirt. Just trying to get the stuff underneath so you can't see it. We are on the last flower, y'all. Wonderful. Yay. So fulfilling. I know, I got to get back to my blessed one. It's going to be a work in progress. That's my patience piece. I will finish it, but That's gonna be my. Let me cut us some of this scissors, Mary. Let me get this here. Let me get here. Cannot stop yawning tonight. Oh, got to bed about 2 o'clock in the morning. I think it was like 3 o'clock before I fell asleep. I'm a night owl to some degree. Absolutely, like, you know. And if you're going to be piling the stuff in the middle, just kind of make sure that you're kind of hitting the phrase. I mean, if some of the underneath does not get in there, that's fine. But just, you want to make sure you tuck in. But with these flowers, the way they're working out, if there's a little bit of fray, you'll be fine. Just make sure there's glue around so that you're kind of preventing it from totally falling off. I'm just not trying to tuck these things in. I can't really tuck them in like I'd like to, but try to make sure they get underneath as best you can. And I'm going to be making it so the flowers are a little bigger. And then you also are going to have the option to get the pattern without these flowers. I know everybody liked the flowers, but they haven't been easy to do. That I can say. They possibly, yes, they're just haven't been the easiest, but we made them work. That's for sure. Come on. Get in there. Okay, that's that. And then just go back before you kind of put your that thing on, and just take this tool that I highly recommend. Just go through and just do your best. If you don't have all of them up, it's fine. They will be like little frayed flowers. Want to do your best, but it's just not going to do. And you really, when you put that thing on, you don't see a lot of it. I do try to go in the middle of the flower, pull all the fabric in for this one. I've just had to kind of pull it in, and then I put glue on it. So that way it's not moving. So I think that looks pretty good. Is it perfect? No. Does it look good? Yes. Am I proud of myself? Yes. This is my idea. And I've been really sore. As you all could probably tell. Get up is not good easy. Or maybe this. This is my thought. I have. I have to work on this. But I need to get some foam brushes. I have some, but I gotta get some. Okay. And it's this cutting board's been nice because I can wipe it off and get the glue off. And if I get glue on it or water, it doesn't matter. Okay. And I've been taking the bigger things to find them now. Where is it? And if your little tools start getting a little mess, just take them and put them in the. I made it bigger. Take them and put them. This one right here. Take a little bit of alcohol, and I've just been pushing this down in the middle, so it kind of gives us a place for our. Find two that kind of look on the smaller side that match the other ones. That'll work. Yep. That'll work. Well, smaller one. There's just a little. Let's see. There's not much difference, but there's just a little bit. Let's look at this one. Yeah, it looks. Oh, it's better. But we're gonna keep these because I can see them. Want to get some little eyes. Just eyes that free for the goose and stuff that do now. Take our B7000 glue and we get them front and center. These do not hold on with fabric glue at all. And if you start seeing fraying happen, just take a little bit of glue and fix it. It'll be fine. Even if you get the project, if you get somebody's project and you start seeing fraying, just get some glue. And just take your fabric glue. I just hold them down a little bit. I think I did the. I see. I see. But if you start noticing your tools are getting full of glue, just take some alcohol on them. That's why I kind of like these over the wood ones, but he doesn't want to get up and fix that. I just gotta tuck that in because that was a little. The seams were there, or the frays were happening. I didn't see it before I put it down. Now it's glued. It'll be fine. In between this on here, it's not coming off. I'm going to kind of lift this up just a little bit, put a little glue underneath there, just to make sure. Now, this one's going, this one's being difficult, probably because I'm moving it around. Say no. Now, you back. This is what I'm thinking. I'll show you all in a minute once I get this done. We're going to add our little bit of sparkle. Extra two thing. I will try to find this glue and add it, or not glue, the paint, add it to the Amazon. I'm sure it's on Amazon. And I will add it to the list, the supply list that we. Sorry, I was focusing. Making sure I got all the angles. There's a little thing I have to fix. Right here. And it popped up after the fact. Dare it, right? Right here. Just get it smoothed down. So this is what I'm thinking while that's drying. Is taking these are just fabric sticks, paint sticks, and they're easy to cut. And I'm just thinking this just may add, not that I don't want to add the other thing, I just think that these are going to be so, I'll do it this side, and just taking this, and they do sell them in Lowe's. I found these the other day too. That would work too. These are from Ace. And just taking this and putting it all around. I don't know, something about that just, that's what I'm thinking of. I just kind of like the wood for this. I don't know what it is, but I like the wood. So we're gonna do that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a ruler, but you can also take this, right? And just take this and you're gonna notch where you're gonna kind of, if it'll work. Yeah, it's working now, like right there. Okay, I'm gonna take it and run it right there for that one. And your knife or your scissors, I don't know if the scissors will work. I don't know if the scissors will. No. So take your knife, your craft knife, with your project over there so you don't get that. Just take this and just run it down the stick. And you may have to sit here for a while. And making it, you want to press down. I mean, I'm making headway. Just enough to start, and then you just kind of keep doing it till you kind of. Okay, we're not doing it enough yet. Just keep trying it. I don't want to split it that way. I saw somebody do it this way, and I thought, oh, easy, right? I mean, I am making it. It's oh, go over on this side too, and start doing it. And you got it coming from both sides. That's what the other person did. You may have to sit for a little bit, just kind of. We've got replacement knives or blades too, just so everybody knows. Saw it back and forth a little bit. It's breaking. So we're gonna take this side, do the same thing, because I don't think I got enough of a. Just take it and. Yeah, good enough scissors. You can do it with the scissors, but those scissors are not doing it. Works. Now, because this doesn't have any writing on this side, we're going to use, even though this is like that, we're going to use this side. Well, now you're going to see it. See if I can get that off. If I can just repurpose it back on there. If I can. If I can't, I can't. Josh, you have a better knife? What happened to my phone? Oh, that's looking good. To cut the hold on a minute, guys. The paint sticks. No. What about that? Why does it go black? What? I have a saw. They don't have the holder to do it. Why did it go black?
No more.
I don't know why it did what it did. I don't know why it just I'm I'm there. It's just I don't know why. I'm here. It just totally so I mean, is it doing that? Wait guys, I'm having problems. Now y'all can hear me. I kind of had to mute myself for a minute for various reasons. All right. I cannot cut that wood, but I will get something so we can cut it. That's why I want to end this one. And I want to go and I want to get the paint sticks like brown and put it around there because it'll be really pretty to have the wood. For some reason that didn't get covered because I can see it. I'm trying to hide that because it was a little piece of whatever that kind of got a little, I don't want it showing through. So we're gonna thicken it. And I just did. Okay. There's a little sparkle there. There, we got that off. That in there. And then I'm just going to kind of go around to different places and get it cleaned up a little bit. So you can do that after you get done at the very end, but we will do the wood. I really like the wood for ending the specific one. And I'm going to like make the wood brown, make it like, distressed a little bit. And I think it'll be really cool with this flag to have the wood around it. So, all right, guys, we are done with the flag. And I think, and you can go done when you're done, take your lint roll and go around. But I think that came out so cool. I love how the flag came out. The flag is done. So we will take when I get something to cut the paint sticks with, and we're going to do that. Then we'll put the purple felt on the back. I think that'll be a really nice clean look. And those other frames are a great option. I have to I have to get can't talk tonight. I gotta get something to cut it with because it's not gonna work. So this is but I don't know if I feel like falling out my fabric right now. Oh, I don't know why I'm tired, but I'm tired. I don't know. Bye. I know I don't want to do this blue. That I know I don't want to do because we're gonna have blue water. We'll work on some of this, but I'm not hauling all the fabric out tonight. I just don't feel like it. So we want to stay away from blue. Yeah, but I don't want to keep ruining my knife for that. But I'll have to get something to cut the wood because I like the wood idea too to put around frames. So I don't want to use blue because we're using blue for the water. So I got to do something. And it's a girl, just happened to be a girl thing. I don't know if pink's the right thing next to the blue. We have to think of that. We're doing it. I wonder if you kind of have this. Is this blue or black? This is, looks like blue. I wonder if we do like something like this. For that, possibly. Or something like these black, because the black would go really next to the white or the blue. Um, I like the blue polka dots. Or I know exactly what we need to use. Or well, I know of possibly. Let's keep these up right now until I get them sorted. There is a section of this fabric that really didn't have anything else. I think well, I think that this would not, well, you probably got to see through it, but that would be pretty to do. I think I want to do this for the hat. Possibly, we'll see, but that may be something for the hat. That may not be a bad idea, because you would have the green and the blue. This would be really pretty, but it's got the blue. And I think it'll blend in with the blue too much. So I'm like, I don't want to use blue, but the green may be an option for the tire. It's too busy next to the water. You know what also maybe look really cool with that is this. And I got it for the teapot. I just get over being so sore today. Two things. Well, we could use. It's too. Is this? I think this would look cool too for the hat. That would be really pretty for the hat. Maybe we'll leave this for the hat. I don't want to use red near the thing. I want red, white, and blue, which is fine, but still. I'm gonna find something with Christina's tie dye that'll work. Decisions. What else decisions to be? That's the problem. We have 11-1. It's going to kind of be the start of everything for that. Whatever I choose for that, it's going to be kind of the start of it. Sorry, everybody. Trying not to yawn, but it's not working. I think we're going to use this for the sun. It's that one's for the sun. It's not. It's yellow, but it's not in your face yellow. I'm going to try to match those up. Let's do the sun. I know what the sun is going to be. No, not other stuff yet, but it's kind of like a yellowy orange, but it's not yellowy orange. It's a much like gentler yellow than let me put this back. Than like a bright orange work. We'll do that first. I may need to. Where's my knife? It just didn't seem like it got enough deep enough cut around there. Probably not going to stay on here till like 11, 12 o'clock. So I'm probably going to go in and go to bed here shortly. Just really sore today. I have soap caddies I need to finish. Do you think I finished them? No. They're on my bed to finish, but they're probably not going to happen until tomorrow. And the thing that we're doing on Saturday, I'd like to enjoy it. Trying to kind of get my body to. It's just having a little flare up right now. Stretch out your fabric if you're noticing that it's getting a little curled. You know, that way you can make sure that you're not going to get wrinkles. So you can also get an iron out, iron it, but it works well just to Make sure you're not stretching. And I thought, well, we'll do a little bit on the goose tonight. Just a little bit, just to get it more started than just the clouds. Another thing is I'm probably going to start doing a little bit on Facebook with these, and some of them I may start on Facebook because we do have stars available over there. I've never tried to get them, but I know that I've signed mom up for stars. And I figured we have almost 1,100 subscribers over there. So if you haven't subscribed over to us on Facebook, it is on our link tree. There, all of our TikTok and everything's all over there. And so I'm thinking I may start doing a little bit over on the Facebook. And then I would just tell them, if you want to see the rest of it, come over to YouTube and see us finish the rest. So there may be some projects you go, oh, I didn't know we started that. Oh, because we started it over on the Facebook, the book face, and to get people to come over here. So it's something that I'm probably going to end up doing here. I can go live the way we have it set up and similar over at the Facebook and the book face and do it over there too. So join us over there because we're going to start doing a little bit over there, doing some lives and kind of getting our Facebook community to make sure that they're following us on all of our platforms. It's really work for when you're trying to kind of go in the round and you need to really kind of get something down. Now I'll be putting something down when I put the sunbeams going out, but I just want to kind of get this in here. And I wouldn't totally recommend it because it does kind of go into the foam a little bit more than I like, but in some instances it does work to actually help to kind of guide it in. They're just kind of being a little persnickety. I like the color of that sun. It'd be pretty. Oops. I did that. I did it again. I'm kind of quiet tonight, guys. I think it's because I'm tired. I shouldn't be tired, but I am. I'm tired. I kind of got it funky right there, but oh well. Okay. As good as I'm gonna get it. And I still have to put in the other stuff, but the sun's in there. There we go. It's cooperating. There we go. We got the sun. It's a pretty color for the sun. I just don't know how to address this. I think we have to start with the waves. Well, I kind of just debating. And this is another thing we could do, kind of like this. I don't know if the polka dots will go. I think the polka dots will look cute for the hat, possibly. Well, let's get this out. This would help. Let's take this out and see. Nope, I don't like that. Maybe this. Kind of like that. For the inner tube. Because it wouldn't take away from the water. Because I don't know what we're going to do for the goose. I'm thinking the goose is white. Is the goose white? We can use our white sparkly stuff for the thing. I'm thinking probably going along with that for the let me start with the water. I think that's where I've got to start because I can't debate on there. Let's start up here and go down because I don't know if I want to put in that other aqua yet or not. And I really don't want to deal with an end piece right now. So let's start off with here because we know for sure we're going to start with the water at the top. Are we going to use the silver? I'm still dealing with an end piece. Oh boy. Okay, another thing that we're going to do too, we start these is we're going to put a slit down the middle so we're not bringing all the fabric back to the back. And to be straight because we're going to be covering it up. That was really lucky. We're just going to take this and just, because we're not putting it all the way in the back yet. Yeah. And if you have your pieces done with that knife, it'll be nice and straight. It's a salvage end. tell. I can tell when I haven't put it in deep enough to cut. I can just. Oops. Squeaking at me, guys. Get this in here. Cut it, but apparently it didn't go. Won't go in there long enough. This is the fabric I got from Hobby Lobby that I saw. I'm like, that looks like water. It does, but I think we got to put this on first before we decide the inner tube. Now, for those that watched Silver Spoons, and Ricky meets his grandfather for the first time, and he's talking about Ricky's grandfather's father, and he invented the inner tube, which he didn't, but it was just part of the story, and of course, Mr. Stratton, the father, was always so businesslike and everything, and his son was totally different. And so, Ricky left his office and he just looked at the picture of his dad, which had the inner tube, and he said, "Floating banana head." My favorite episode of the Silver Spoons is the one where he's trying to teach Ricky how to drive. And he goes through the library. That's my favorite. They don't make shows like that anymore. They don't make shows like the Brady Bunch anymore. It's like I'm watching the Brady Bunch. I figure I haven't watched that whole. I don't think I've ever sat down and watched the whole series of the Brady Bunch. Well, let's just go ahead and watch it. There's just really nothing on that's good anymore. There's a couple things. My husband and I like Heartland. I think they're going to have their last season this year. I'm sure it'll be weird for the girl that plays Amy. She's done it for so many years. It'll be weird not to work. And so they're doing the last season. Virgin River is another one we like. Heartland or Hope Valley is another one that we sit and watch. They just don't make things like they used to. That's for sure. Like I said, I'm probably not going to be on here too much longer, so I'm going to go get ready for bed. And I think I'm going to go to bed. I'm really tired. And I don't know why. But at least we got the flag done. I really wanted to get the flag done tonight. I thought, well, we could start on the goose. I still want to do that other one for you all because that one is really easy to do. And for the beginners, that'll be like a really nice piece. And when I put the video or the short out about that fabric store, I let people. One of the things I said in that short, and I want people to take to heart, is fabric. First of all, is expensive. It is, however you want to, do it. It can be expensive. So it can be daunting to think, oh, I'm going to start this and then I've got, especially if you're on a fixed income, be able to get, the budget of being able to get yarn or fabric. I'm so used to saying yarn, guys. Here's the thing that I want people to realize. When you are going to buy fabric for Kinusaiga, now I can say it. I couldn't say it on the short for nothing. When you're going to buy fabric for it, don't sit there and say, "Oh, I got to go and buy a yard of this and a yard of that and a yard of this to get started." No, don't do that, please. Um, you can buy fabric. Go in, and I saw I looked at my recording or the video. They're called 8/4 at the store, at the place where we went. They had 8/4. They had fat quarters, and they had 8/4, which were $2 a piece. Okay, so if you say to yourself, I only have $20, okay, go to a place like the place that we have in our area, right? And get 8/4. If you say all I can do is 20 of them, go buy, or 10 of them, go buy 10 of them. That's $20. You're better off getting 10 of those in fabric with giving you 10 options of fabric, or rather than getting a yard of a piece of fabric and maybe saying, okay, I can only get 2 yards of this fabric. And now you only have two. You at least with doing like the fat quarters for $4, the fat eights were like $2. You're better off getting 10 of those because now you've got 10 different choices. You saw how much fabric I used. Just I've still got all of this, and this is just 1/4. So this cost $1.97. I just used that much, and this part was the little edge I can't use. It had the salvage edge, so don't even consider that. It was just a little piece on that there. But get that. The only thing I would say to buy a yard of or 2 yards of and invest in is solid color fabric. Like I'd like to go and buy a yard of their solid color fabric and start building my solid color fabric yarn, or I'm going to get a mixed up fabric so that I have, my solid colors built up. So except for the solid colors, if it's prints, buy them in 1/4 yard, buy them in even smaller than this, half of that, I think, 1/4 or something. Do that versus buying a yard of something. I would not have bought a yard of this. Buy 1/4. And that way you can have a much more extensive fabric collection versus doing it. And, or get really good quality 10 by 10 squares, or even these little squares. I can't remember what size they are, little tiny squares, right? These are great too as well. So that's my suggestion. Where you want to do the yardage on is your solid color fabric. Your print fabric, get the smaller so that you can have more of. There was only one that I probably would have not gotten well, several of them actually. 1/4 yard, or 1/4 yard. I probably would have gotten a half a yard. And there was some fabric and they had it in different colors. They had it in blue, they had it in green, they had it in red, and I didn't look long enough to see if it came in other colors. I'm sure it did. But it was almost two-tone color. So it had red on the top, and then it had like white on the bottom with red speckles, or green speckles, or purple or blue speckles, or whatever color it was. That would be the only one I probably would have gotten in a half a yard, because now you're getting two in one. So even though you're getting more than one, you're getting, instead of 1/4, you're getting half a yard of that fabric. You're now getting two different colors. You've got a solid red, or a red that had a very minimum pattern to it, and you've got a white with red speckles in it. Now you've got a two-tone, so you're getting double for the price of one. And I do want to go back and get almost every color in that one itself. And I want to start building the collection of the solid colors. So that is one of my suggestions to anybody starting. Is I know it can be a little daunting to say, oh my goodness gracious, I have to start building my collection of fabric. No, you don't. You go and buy little bits by little bit. Have the only thing I'd say to buy a yard of, and I would tell you if you're going to buy a yard of it, get good quality fabric. Don't just go in and get, really junky fabric. Get good quality fabric of the solid colors. Go ahead and buy a yard or two of them. You're going to use times where you're going to need solid color. You can see on the flag we use solid color. So, and I'm really taking my time now and tucking that in there just to make a more solid piece.